Say what's on your mind. Speak loud from within. Make us sing along with the power of the pen. Say what's on your mind. Speak loud from within.
Hey, yo.
Make us sing
I saw the hat on and I was like, oh man, I had on a black tee.
Come on, yo. I can't have you on and we not represent.
I had on a black tee. I was keeping it real calm and cool. And then I saw you with the hat on, and I was like, all right, I gotta.
I cannot have you on and not represent, bro.
Man.
What's good, man?
My brother, peace and blessings, King. How you doing, King?
It's so good to have you on here, Day.
Yo, man, we finally made it happen, man. I know I was giving you a hard time before.
It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. We busy in these COVID streets.
Hey, who you call?
we busy in these COVID streets.
Big facts. Big facts.
So, man, how have you? I mean, talk about all of this stuff going on. How have you been? How have you been?
Hey, I'm in great spirits, man. And you know, I wasn't always able to say that.
Yeah.
You know, with this pandemic, it's taking a toll on us all. It affected me mentally. It affected me spiritually, physically. It was just a lot. It was a lot to digest. And it was something, at least in the years that I've been alive, I've never seen anything like it, you know? So when the sports world shut down, you know, when the music world shut down,
every industry,
yo, I was like, okay, this is for real. I've never seen the NFL, you know, MLB, NBA say we're gonna stop playing. I've never seen that ever in life, bro. So to see that, it was just crazy,
like
man.
Stop training, everything.
Yeah,
right?
just everything. The world stopped. So that was a lot, man. And again, like I said, I was challenged, you know, mentally, physically, spiritually. But I'm grateful today, you know, that I'm able to say, you know, I'm in a great space. I feel good. You know, physically, mentally, and spiritually. You know, I've been working out. I've been training. I've been remaining prayerful, and I finally feel like me again, if that makes sense. Like the music side, like I wasn't creating. I wasn't in a space to create. I wasn't in a safe place here to create. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm starting to feel like myself again. And now I'm starting to feel like Amadeus, the king. You know what I mean? So thank you for asking that question. How about you, man? How about you?
Yo, I'm blessed. I'm better than blessed. You know what I'm saying? Last week I didn't do the show because my family, literally my entire family, went away for a week. We went away for a week, and God bless us, we was down in Florida with my parents. My parents celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary. Woo-hoo!
That is amazing, man. Congrats to that 5-0, man. That's legendary.
Yeah,
man.
my mom is on here too tonight. So like,
shout out to you, mama. Y'all need to make a movie. Y'all need to write a book.
Listen,
y'all can show us how to make 50 years as couples out here, man.
That's what all the conversation is about. It's like, yo, we need to get like dad. So I put your stuff down in the thing. Put some notes down. Mom, get on there. Put some notes down because we got a lot to talk about, right?
Right.
But yeah, man, talk about a great space. Yeah, I'm definitely in a great place and a great space in all those areas, like you said as well. And I also wasn't, you know, for a minute.
Yeah.
And I think that's everybody. However, you know, I'm a little biased because I think creatively for us, that was like different.
Yeah.
You know, it's one thing when you have what they call quote unquote writer's block or creativity block, where you just can't really focus in on being creative like you want to be. But then there's a whole other thing when literally the world is in such a different place and going through something together,
right? That
you literally don't have, you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You don't know what to do. And in the moment you decide to do something, a loved one is gone, or a business is shut down, or, you know, even with the weather, forget just the sickness, the weather with Haiti, with the hurricanes, the tornadoes. Like we had a tornado, I'm out here in Pennsylvania, right?
Okay.
And we had what I would believe the first tornado since I've been living out here, and I've been out here for almost 20 years.
Wow.
Totally ripped to shreds one of our car dealerships, like tore the roof off, trucks and stuff blowing around all in the parking lot. Like that's that happens down in Texas or like in Arizona and places like that. But now it's coming close. So, you know, with all of these different things happening, yo, we got to stay focused. We really got to stay focused, man, because, you know, we don't know what's really happening, but we stay prayerful.
Yeah.
We stay prayerful. We stay hopeful.
Absolutely.
So what I want to do, man, I want to, like I always say this for the people in the back that just might not know who Amadeus is. Like, I know who you are, and I'm going to get into your bio and everything tonight, right? But just tell some people, who is Amadeus? Who is this brother that I got on here repping this New York Giants gear?
Yes, sir. First off, New York Giant fanatic, New York Giant fan. I bleed blue and red. But King Amadeus, man, like you said, you know, a multi-platinum Bad Boy Hitman producer. I'm blessed to produce for over 100 artists, from J-Lo to French Montana, Wiz Khalifa, Tyga, Keisha Cole, Chris Brown, CeeLo Green, Young M.A., Dave East, Mike Jones, Paul Wall, The Game, you know, so many, man. It's hard to remember. Remy Ma, Papoose, Busta Rhymes. Man, it's so many. And also Trey Songz, his music director, tour drummer. I've been touring with him for the last 14 years. I have a residency at Dre's nightclub, the #1 nightclub, hip hop nightclub in Las Vegas, on the Vegas Strip. Motivational speaker, educator, father, son, brother, king, you know, and just someone that's just passionate about music and passionate about creativity, but also passionate about others and passionate about giving back and helping others and inspiring and motivating others. So, you know, so that's pretty much me, you know, in a nutshell, man.
Mm-hmm. So Amadeus, for once again, for the people out there that don't really know, I've known Amadeus, tell them my age.
Long time, bro.
I've known Amadeus for over 20 years.
Yeah,
like,
big facts.
Over 20 years, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that Amadeus, like, this is not no discredit. This is all of the credit in the world, of course, to God, but also
Amen.
to you and your dedication and your commitment to what you do. You are still in the game. Like, you are still creating. And in the end game, right? Tell me what you think is different. Not what you think. Tell me what's different from back then to right now with creative spaces. Like, just creative spaces. What do you think is different about then and now?
Oh, man, everything. Everything. And you mentioned, which is a blessing, you talked about, you know, still being relevant. And you're absolutely right. To still be relevant, to still be known, to still be respected, to still be appreciated, you know, over 2 decades later, like, it's a blessing. And for me, that's the love. That's the love, and that's the passion for what I do. That's the me staying in tune to what's next and who's hot and what's not. You know what I mean? And just kind of keeping my ear and heart, in a way, to the streets of knowing what's up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, and that's what it is. And just keeping myself surrounded by people that are younger than me. You know what I mean? And I'm not afraid or ashamed to say that. Like, it's not about just staying connected to people that are the same age or that are from the same times that I'm from. It's about connecting with that new energy. Like, yo, teach me, show me the way. I've been teaching for years. We've been teaching and educating the youngins for years, right? But then it reaches a point where that turns, and then the youngins teach us the game, and they show us the way. Nah, young OG, like, we tune in the 808s like that. You know what I'm saying? We using this VST. Now we using Pro Tools, and when you use Pro Tools, we drop. You know what I mean? So you got to be able to adapt. You got to be able to adjust. You got to be able to surround yourself with the right team and the youngins that can just mold and shape you to what's happening now. Because what we were making before, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, a year ago, it's not the same.
Year ago.
You know what I'm saying? So what's happening right now. So I think that's how I, you know, keep myself relevant and the brand relevant. And in regards to, you know, what's changed, everything, bro, like technology, what you're capable of doing back then. First of all, we didn't have internet back then. You remember? We didn't have the internet.
About that?
We didn't have social media. We stood in front of record labels. We stood in front of studios waiting for somebody to come outside to hand them a beat. Not CD, not a MP3, a beat tape, bro. Like, and DATs. Like, we was like, yo, here's my beats on these DATs. Here's my beats on this tape. You know what I'm saying? Waiting for Puff to come out of hit, you know what I'm saying? Hit Factory or Daddy's House, or waiting for Jay-Z to come out of, you know what I mean? Whatever Baseline or whatever studio he was working out of. So when you talk about the change and the difference, like, we can go on and on and on about what was happening back then to now. But again, like I said, it's all about adapting and adjusting to what's happening now. That's the only way you can continue to do what you do.
The reason why I asked you that, Amadeus, is because I think it's really important for people to understand everything you just said and how important it is to be that way in this industry and in most industries. You know, my big saying is this, and that's a huge difference between being dated and vintage. Dated is what you don't want to be.
Right.
Vintage is a sound, it's a style, it's like an era you're trying to capture. Nobody wants to be dated. Right? So we're not making music for Soul Train no more because that don't exist.
Right.
You feel me?
Word.
We're not even making music for 106 in Park no more because that don't exist.
It don't exist, right?
You know what I'm saying? So don't be dated. If you're gonna be vintage, that's something we could get with that. Right?
Right.
And so you have some people creatively, they're not able to adapt with their sound. And like, people talk about me, and one of my guys on here even tonight, he always brings up the fact that he's like, yo, S, you cannot be boxed. He's like, you can write gospel, you can write R&B, you can write pop, you can write a gospel song that sounds like something else. But every time I write, if I don't tell you that I wrote it, most times you wouldn't even know. And like, I could be that ghostwriter, right?
That's fire.
So, but now the reason why I'm like that, not even just because my mom and my dad and my surroundings was so much music, but I just love the sound of so much that I don't want to be locked in or boxed into one sound, or I don't want to miss opportunities because I can only produce one sound. You feel me?
See, and that's kind of
so I think
another
that's really
part of my
important.
secret.
And the fact that you said it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another part of, you know, my secret too, where I only create what I love. I only create what I feel. Like, I've never been one to follow trends or styles or sounds or kind of like mimic what others are doing. I create what I love. I create what I feel. If you vibe with it, you vibe with it. You don't, you don't. But then with that, it allows you to continue to be authentic to yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So like you have to be that way. Okay, so now you said something really important too. You said like making music 5 years ago is one thing, but even making music a year ago like may have changed the way we create, right? So for a minute, you know, everybody was trying to make their joints like to be on the radio, right? Yeah. Everybody want their songs on the radio. Now everybody's making music that they hope that you stream, right? So what do you think now? Like, I think that it's changed again, because now it feels like people are just making their music so it can be featured on TikTok. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like what do you think about this whole TikTok craze and where we are now? People just want their songs to be socially viral.
Yeah. I mean, in the times that we live in today, I think it's more beneficial that way, right? Like, you know, and humbly speaking, right? Like, you know, my wall art, all my plaques that's on the walls and everything like that, right? Like, it took a lot to get those. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a different day. Like, you had to sell 500,000 hard copies. Like, that's CDs, actual cassette tapes to get it. Not streams, you know what I'm saying?
Side A and B, right?
Yeah, big facts. You know what I'm saying? And nowadays, you know, it's just different. Like, everybody and their mama are able to go gold and platinum and double platinum and diamond and all these different things. And it's cool and it's no knock to anything, but it's different when you actually had to really sell albums and hard copies of a particular project in order to go gold or platinum, you know? So I appreciate, you know, the new plaques. And the new accomplishments. You know, again, it's no shade or no shots to none of it. Right. But I just know, you know, these plaques that are behind me, it's different. Like, those are actual people lining up at the record store, at the albums, you know, at the store and buying the CD. and leaving with the CD in their hand, reading the credits, reading who was the producers, and you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Root Magazine in the building. Unit shipped. Word, like they had to ship them joints. You know, to the Wiz and to FYE, you know what I'm saying? And to all of those
We need to
stores.
do something together. I'm gonna put that out there right now, because you know that's my bro right there.
Yeah.
Root Magazine is my bro, and he shouting BX like crazy. He BX till he dies. So I ain't got no problems with it. I'm BK till I die. But we need the three of us need to do something together. That would be insane.
Let's make it happen.
That would be insane.
Let's make it happen.
So okay, so now like let me ask now, like who has your attention right now musically? If you can say.
No, I mean, I like a lot of what's happening today, honestly. You know, I like what the baby is doing. I like what Little Baby is doing.
Which baby?
Which
baby?
The baby.
I'm being funny.
Funny. Right, the baby, Little Baby. Yo, man. Listen, I'm sure it's a very good reason of how they both came up with their name. So I'll let them live with that. You know what I mean? Listen, they winning. So obviously
they winning.
You can name yourself whatever you want to name yourself, as long as the music is hitting.
As long as the music is hitting, yeah.
That's what it's about. But the baby, I like Little Baby, I like the baby. Who else do I like? I like old girl, Snow. Is her name Snow?
Okay, you just put me on to somebody. That's somebody I haven't heard of.
She's a beast, bro. She's like a pop in a pop world. She just dropped an album that's been on rotation for me, real heavy.
Nice.
Who else do I like right now, man? I'm listen, when I go jogging when I go bike riding and working out in the gym, you know, I'm putting on like Nipsey Hussle, man, and rest in peace Nipsey. I'm putting on Biggie. I'm putting on Hove. I was listening to Beanie Siegel for 2 days in a row in the gym.
Wow.
There you go. Snow Allegra. Thank you, Dog K.
That's my girl Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate you, Queen. So it's, you know, there's a lot of people that I listen to. But I take it back. I take it back to what I like, what I'm familiar with, what I love, and appreciate that. And if I happen to hear some new joints that knock that I can appreciate, I don't care who make it, man. If it's a vibe, it's a vibe. You know what I mean?
So was you at 107 point? Was it 107? No, 97.
197.
Yeah. Was you at the summer stage the other night?
Absolutely no. I don't want no smoke with this COVID-19, bro. That's way too many people in one place, and the fact that I'm not performing and getting to the bag, nah, bro. I don't need to be no spectator. I watched that joint, little clips here and there, right from my living room. Tidal was streaming that joint, and I was right in the living room by myself with the family, watching it in a safe space.
What I thought was crazy about it was, so the little bit that I saw was all of our people, like Bad Boy, Buster, Swiss Beats, like I was like, okay, that looked like it was kind of hot, like it was crazy.
It did look epic.
I don't even know what newer people they had on the bill.
I
just saw all of the people that I loved and was just like, wow.
They had out of the youngins that's doing their thing. The baby was there. He did his thing. Moneybagg Yo was there.
Nice.
Kid from Staten Island, CJ. CJ actually had the young king that got the Whoop-Dee record.
Yeah.
He's from Staten Island. CJ had a dope set because it was CJ and Friends. It was CJ and Friends, and he's from Staten Island, so he brought out like Wu-Tang, which was crazy. He brought out Wu-Tang, bro. Like, and it was like a weird dynamic because a lot of people, I'm thinking in the audience, I couldn't really hear the we call it the audience mics, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they had the audience mics in the feed from the stream. Because when Wu-Tang came out, I didn't feel it. I didn't feel the eruption. Like I didn't hear them
it should have
erupt.
been. It should have been.
You know, but that's probably because a lot of the people that was in the crowds was youngins. They was there for the Moneybagg Yo. They was there for Meek. They was there for, you know, the city young artists. But he brought out Wu-Tang. He brought out He brought out like three of the Spanish, the Spanish artists that are rocking, and they did their thing. Like he had a really dope set. But it's funny you brought Summer Jam up, because with Trey Songz, we did Summer Jam about 4 or 5 times, in the previous years, man. And for us to be Giants fans, it's an epic moment because it's actually where the Giants play in MetLife Stadium, man. So to be in that audience, you know, playing in front of 60,000, 50,000, 60,000 people in your city, New York, it's epic.
That's crazy.
It's epic. And on my page, I actually put up like a throwback video of like us performing, you know, at Summer Jam one year.
Oh, nice.
And it's epic, bro. Like, it's epic. I can't front.
So I'm going to go to another topic. Before I do that, I have to do this. I do this on every show.
Okay.
I take a moment, right here to really acknowledge what you've done and appreciate you for what you've done. Looking at your bio, Amadeus, you know, like you've written for Chris Brown, you've written for Triple E, you've written for Dave East, you've worked with Ray J, you've worked with Keisha Cole, you've worked with Quincy, with the Bad Boy Records, what you rapping for, like your list is long,
man.
Decades of music, right? So everybody on here, give my brother some hearts, give him some goats, whatever you got to do, because we want you to know that we love you and we appreciate you for what you've done.
Man, that's love.
Don't stop. Don't stop. Like I say, as long as God allow me to breathe, I'm going to keep creating. You do the same thing. Even if you're not creating, stay in the end, like be somewhere around because you're needed. We celebrate you. We appreciate you. And don't stop, man. Please don't stop. Don't ever give up.
Man, I appreciate that. I appreciate the love. I appreciate, you know, you having me on here and acknowledging, you know, what I've done and what I've brought to the table, man. It's always a humbling thing. It's always a beautiful feeling to be appreciated for what you've worked so hard for.
While you're here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So thank you, my brothers. I see all the hearts. I see all the love, man. Look, I'm putting my heart up, you know, to everybody out there that's showing love, that's appreciating me. Like you said, while I'm here, to be able to smell these roses and actually see these hearts and hear these amazing words. So, you know, thank you, my brother. And thank you all for the celebration. I really appreciate it.
So another topic, verses. Verses. What did you think about the Dipset and the Lost verses?
I ain't gonna lie. I was screaming like crazy in here. And everybody was like, yo, you going? And again, I was like, absolutely no. Like, it's just nah, man. You know, and it's a shame that, you know, one, that the pandemic happened in the first place, and that's what we have to deal with, and that, you know, that we have to stay away from what we love and places we love to be in and people we love to be around. You know what I mean? I would have loved for I've been blessed to work with both groups, you know, the Locks and Dipset. You know, so it's family, it's a connection there. It's a part of my history and my legacy. But for me to be in a building to hear some of my favorite records would have been absolutely epic. But I'm not gonna lie to you, T, like, I really enjoyed myself that night, man. It was like was it a Tuesday or a Thursday, whenever it was. It was an
off night, but it was just perfect.
I had my drinks. I had my drinks. I was lit.com.
I had my Sprite. I was lit.
Listen, I was drinking for you, bro. I was drinking for me, you, for everybody. Whoever couldn't drink, whoever don't drink, I was drinking for everybody. I had a TV until it couldn't get turned up no more. For real. It was just nostalgic. It was good to see. It was good to see the camaraderie. You know, it was a little spicy. I can't front. It was definitely a little spicy at moments.
It was good.
You know, but I got nervous. I was like, man, fellas, please don't start fighting, man. And, you know, Cam was sitting in the chair, and then he kicked Styles, and I was like, fellas, and then he threw, you know, Jada threw, you know, Jewel's the band on the floor.
Yeah.
I hope it don't go down tonight, man. We can't have this, bro.
Yo, man, I ain't even gonna front. Like you were saying, it was a good thing to see. Truthfully, for me, at one point, I literally just wanted to close my eyes and just listen, because the energy, like it was like you said, like I think that was, if not the best,
one of my favorite ones. That was one of my favorite ones.
It has to be like one of the top two.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorite ones. Definitely one of my favorite. Yeah, that was legendary, yo. Like,
so that was amazing. And once again, that is where we are. You know, that's a good thing though for those of us that created music and now are again being appreciated for what we've contributed, right?
Right.
So
absolutely.
that's a great thing. I want to get a little bit into the technical part, right? Okay. So, oh my goodness, this rain, this weather is crazy.
Yeah.
So to create music, Amadeus, we talked about being relevant. We talked about the changes in the music. We talked about the difference in artistry from back when we started to artistry now, right? Mm-hmm. Creating a track, creating beats, creating music that you really believe in your heart is going to get people up out their seats, you know, or help people get from one destination to the other in less than 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what goes into that? Like, how do you start creating? Is it always the same, or do you have a different formula? Like, what do you do to create?
Man, me, I just do what I feel, bro. I just do what I feel, and I do what I feel or create how I'm feeling in that particular moment, right? So I've never been one, like I said, to chase styles or trends or sounds. Mm-hmm. I just do me. Like, and it's like if I'm having a party in the studio with myself in regards to what I'm creating. If I love it, absolutely love it, you know, I just go with it. You know what I mean? And you know, when I'm done with that particular track, it's about sharing that track with as many artists as I can, singers, songwriters, you know, labels, A&Rs, to see who feels like how I felt when I created it. Like, that's the thing for me. Like, I want you to be able to listen to the track and feel how I felt in that moment and be able to take yourself on whatever journey you need to take yourself for in regards to creating whatever that record may be, you know?
Okay.
And that's kind of been how I created and what's worked for me. Now, there's other ways to approach that. You can approach it from a sonic way, you know, a sonic level, or I'm going to go sample this old record that I know was a smash record already back in the day, and I'm just going to recreate that record, change the melody, write a new song to it. It was already a smash to the world, you know, so the people who love the old record can appreciate it, and for the youngins and for the new people who may not know that record can fall in love with the new record, and you got the old and the new coming together to kind of appreciate what's going on. And that's kind of the formula that Puff had. You know, back in the day, which worked for him and has allowed him to sell millions and millions and millions of albums.
I was going to say it worked for a whole lot of people.
Yeah, and now, you know, today, you know, shout out to Hitmaker. Hitmaker's took the same blueprint that Puff took, which is now, instead of creating, you know, the Stevie Wonders and the OJs and sampling that, now he's sampling, you know, 90s and 2000 records, you know, sampling Puff records and sampling records that were already Faith Evans songs and May songs, and you know, because that's how long ago those songs came out. So these songs is a decade and 2 decades old. You know what I mean? Which was the same energy that existed when we were sampling, you know, Marvin Gaye's and different things that we were sampling. So it's the same blueprint. So it just shows you that it works. You know, appreciation for other music, you know, can allow you to have appreciation, you know, for the newer music when you put it together. If that makes sense.
It's
you know
true.
What I mean?
It's true. It's true. So have you ever run into a situation, right, where you were creating for an artist or you were submitting music for an artist and they didn't take it, you know, or it didn't work or it didn't fit?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And it just happens. It happens all the time for us. I've never been one to create music for a specific artist. Like, I don't like to create that way, because if you create that way, and you submit to that particular artist and that particular artist doesn't take that record, then you're stuck with a track or a song that only fits them. But if you just create amazing music, you know, you can submit that track or song to anybody, and that's kind of my format, where I submit it to anybody and everybody, and whoever bites first, you know, whoever, you know, takes it first is whoever takes it first, you know, and that's kind of been my motto, yo. So when I work with songwriters and people that want to write hooks and songs to my tracks, it's like, yo, so who we focusing on? And I'm like, we just focus on a great record. Yeah. Because if you focus on a great record, everybody.
It's a great record to everybody.
Everybody wants a great record. So I've always focused on making a great record and just sending it to everybody that's working or anybody that would fit that particular song. And again, just seeing who wants it first, pretty much.
Power of the pen. Hashtag power of the pen. I heard that the hit by Rihanna, Umbrella, was originally submitted to Mary.
Yeah.
And Mary turned it down.
Happens all the time.
Isn't that crazy?
All the time, bro. But and again, it's no, no malice from Mary, of course. It's just maybe, and you know that, but I'm just explaining that, for the viewers, like maybe it just didn't connect with her. It just didn't connect with her. She just didn't feel it. She didn't feel like it was her. Maybe she didn't like the track. Maybe she didn't like the key of the song. It's many reasons of why someone could just say, nah, this ain't for me. You know what I mean? So it just wasn't a record for her. But it was perfect for Rihanna. If it wasn't perfect for Rihanna, it wouldn't have done what it did. You know what I'm saying? It's a huge smash and a huge record. And I love how, Rihanna attacked it. I loved how she performed it. I loved how she executed that song. And I can't say, that if it was on Mary, that it would have felt the same way or that would have had the same impact. And I love Mary J. Blige, but I just don't hear umbrella on nobody else except for Rihanna. You know what I mean? So
that's another good point too.
Happens all the time, man.
That's another good point too. So okay, so now let me ask you this. Is there anything I want to ask you to do something actually. Can you speak to anyone that might be discouraged right now in what they're creating, or maybe in the delay of that special or successful moment? Is there anything you can say to encourage somebody? I know you do this on a regular, and you do workshops and things, and you speak to people about this all the time. But right now on this platform, for somebody else to see and hear it from you directly, is there something that you can say to encourage someone wherever they are right now? If it's a slow moment, if it's a stagnant moment, whatever it is, but just not to give up.
Right. I mean, I think the first thing I want to say is that it happens to us all. There's no one that you can think of in a creative space that hasn't been challenged creatively, right? I'm talking about from Jay-Z to Biggie, rest in peace, from Michael Jackson, rest in peace, to Whitney Houston, rest in peace, to whomever you think is the greatest at what they do. We're all human at the end of the day. And so no matter the gifts, no matter the talents that we have, that we work so hard towards perfecting and making excellent, you know what I mean? We still fall short no matter what. I don't care the success of the record. That doesn't mean that it's the best record in the world. That doesn't mean that it's the best chords were played, the best drums were laid down. Like, you can find imperfections in any and every song. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just what it is. So just knowing that we all are human, and it's just about enjoying your gifts and enjoying your talents. Before, I picked up drumsticks for the first time in 4th grade. I didn't know anything about a career. I didn't know anything about touring. I didn't know anything about being professional. I just loved it, right? And that transitioned into me producing. Same thing with production. Producing at 14 and 15 years old. I don't know nothing about selling beats. I don't know anything about publishing. I don't know anything about royalties. All I know is that I enjoy creating music, and I enjoy seeing the response of people when they hear what I've created from scratch. That's an amazing feeling, right? So just make sure that you're putting the love and the passion into it. And if you have those slow moments, if you have those moments where you're just not feeling it, man, just walk away from it. Walk away from it. Do something else. Maybe it's not connecting in that moment. And that's okay, because like I said, again, no matter who you love, who you look up to, who you respect in their artistry, we all have those moments where it's just not right, where it's just not coming together. You know what? Let me save this song, walk away, play a video game, take a walk, have a sip on something, whatever it is you do to come back to it, to say, can I complete this? And if you can complete it. If you can't, you can't. And you just learn how to not be so hard on yourself. You know what I mean? Everybody is not going to have everything at every moment. It's not going to always click. It's not going to always happen within that moment. But if you continue to believe in yourself, if you continue to be patient, and not, get angry and impatient and feel like you can't do it, just take a step back.
Yeah.
Just take a step back from it.
That's all good advice, man.
Yeah. Regroup and attack it again. You know what I mean? And that's what we all do.
Yeah. So with your long resume, with the state of the industry and the climate of our world and stuff right now, is there anybody? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna ask you this question before I go to that. So I've been asking everybody, with the state of our world right now, with the way things are going right now, in our country, countries around us, as a people, if you was to give a song title to what we are dealing with and where we are right now in our world, what would that song title be?
Man.
That
Wow.
could be one too. that could be a title.
Right.
Man. That could be a title.
Bruh, it's so much happening. Wow. Like, you're right. It's so much.
That could be a title too.
Right.
Listen, yo, listen. This is where we are right now.
Yo, it's so much happening, right? But as much as we can give a title to what's happening, right?
Yeah.
I would rather us, me, you, everybody that's tuned in, that'll see this video later. I'd rather hold on to this title, even with everything happening in the world. No weapon formed against us shall prosper.
Preach!
You know what I'm saying? Like,
preach, Amadeus.
yo, no weapon formed against us shall prosper. Like, we can talk about the negativity, the bad, the deaths, the killings, the diseases, the viruses. We can go through that, but at the end of the day, it just shows you through it all how powerful God really is. You understand? Because we're still here to even talk about it.
Yo, I got a song. I don't know if you heard the song that I played before you came on.
Yes, I did, and I love it.
Yo, when I tell you Amadeus is a church boy, based on the lyrics of that song I did,
Big facts.
This right when I stop. Oh my goodness. So basically, that song is about you and so many other brothers that I know.
Oh yeah, and I heard a good amount of it because I came in earlier. And I heard you playing it, and I love it. I heard you talk about Steve Harvey and Kirk Franklin, and
listen,
yeah, now that joint is a dope record.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much. But I did that song because we put a picture to a church boy that says he's only in suits and ties. Yo. And he only attends weekend services and weekday prayers and Bible studies.
That was my
and that's
life,
all
bro.
He is. Right?
That was my life.
Right. But now to see you right now, somebody will be like, yeah, now he ain't no church boy. Now he ain't grow up like that. He ain't come from that. And because I know you,
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I know where you come from. And it's like, yo, you be surprised. The dudes on the field, that's church boys. The dudes on the court, that's church boys. The simple fact that your resume is not filled with gospel artists, but when you think of a song title or the lyrics, Power of the Pen, the first thing that comes to your mind is no weapon formed against us. That's scripture and that's a song.
Big facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, church boy. Hashtag church boy.
Church boy.
Church boy.
You know what? And just real quick to speak on that, like, growing up from the Bronx. I'm from the Bronx. I'm from the hood. I'm from 169th and Washington Avenue. They call my block the 9, like literally because of the 9, right?
Yeah.
And I remember being laughed at and mocked and teased for being a church boy, and it really, honestly, that now that I'm even thinking about it, it didn't really bother me like that, but it happened, right? And I've been in church all my life, man, as a youngin' and as a kid, and I just knew what God had for me. Like, I knew, even though I was a church boy and I was playing drums, like, soon as I would walk out of church from playing drums in service and put on Jay-Z or Wu-Tang, like, right after. Like, I knew hip-hop and R&B was my lane. It was my world. I didn't hide it. I didn't, like, my bishop, my pastor, rest in peace, Pastor Bishop Michelle White, it's crazy to have to even say that, bruh. But she lives through us all, man. And I'm gonna forever say her name.
Legend.
Lived up. Big legend.
New York worldwide legend.
Yo, legend, bro. Without her, we wouldn't even be having this conversation, because it was her that put me on drums and allowed me to be a musician at church when I didn't even know how to be a musician, and she just said yes. And that's where I was molded and shaped as the musician and the producer that I am, linking with her son, Steve Soup White, and him, teaching me and showing me the way. And, I know you remember Derek Garbo, rest in peace, Derek Garbo. I know you remember Scott Van Punt, rest in peace, Scott Van Punt. You know what I mean, Aaron Kelly. I know you know AK and Brad. It's just.
This is crazy.
But it just goes to show you, which is why I'm grateful for this moment.
Yeah.
And us having this conversation, and you guys celebrating me and giving me love, because you just never know, man. You just never know, when God says it's time.
Right.
We're all gonna go.
Right.
One day.
Right.
We don't know how.
Right.
I always say, Lord, just don't make it tragic, man. Just don't make it like, you know what I mean? Like, like, don't make it tragic, man. Don't make it no crazy movie like theme. Like, just make it peaceful, bro. Like,
please, God, please,
just
God.
make it peaceful, man. But but I'm like I said, I'm really grateful. But to be teased and laughed and mocked, and then to accept that I'm a church boy, right?
Yeah.
But then live, really work towards my dreams and my passion, and become who I am today, which is surrounded by some of the greatest in the secular world ever. And my bishop would tell me, she said, she prophesied to me one day and told me, you're going to be around the greats. You're going to be surrounded by great men. You know what I mean? And I didn't, at a young end, I didn't know what that meant. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know. I wasn't tapped in like that spiritually to understand that. But now I understand that, Puff and Jay and Chris Brown and Trey and, Odell Beckham, and you know what I mean? Like, even from a TV standpoint, Stephen A. Smith and all of these people, Denzel Washington, it's like, it's no difference between me and them. There's no difference between you and them. There's no difference between everybody that's on this video watching and them. Those are people that, have a gift just like you. Those are people that just went for theirs, and they didn't take no for an answer, and they studied and they practiced and they tried again, and they tried again, and they failed, and they tried again until it worked out, until that door was open. And that's the same thing that I did, and that's the same thing that you did, and that's the same thing for everybody that's tuned in should do. Like, don't be mad at somebody else for going after what their dreams were. Like, you can do the same thing.
Don't do
the same thing.
Don't do that. It's been a pleasure having you on this platform tonight, Amadeus, man. Like, I can't even tell you how grateful I am to have you on here. I know there's something that was said, even with all the technical things or whatever, something that was said on here is going to be a blessing to somebody.
Absolutely.
Definitely going to motivate some of our young creators and some of our regular creators who just hadn't gotten that big break yet.
Yeah, man.
People that's been at it for a long time.
Right.
It's a roller coaster ride. It really
Big
is.
Time. Big time.
It's a gamble, and something that I've learned to accept throughout my journey is that everybody's big break won't be a big stage. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's big break won't be a big stage, and everybody's big break won't be a big album or a big hit record.
Right.
But the reason why God gave us this creativity was not because, now listen, it wasn't no albums and no record sales and no charts in the Bible. Right.
Amen.
so back then that wasn't on nobody's agenda. Everybody was just singing songs because of how it made people feel.
Yes,
right.
Sir. Yes, sir.
And so, like, people have to accept the gift and be content where they are. And if an opportunity presents itself where God takes it and he blows it out of the water, great. But if 3 or 4 people hear it and it changes or does something to their lives, right?
Yes, sir.
That's more than enough reason to keep going.
Absolutely.
That's more than enough reason to going. And I can't appreciate you enough for what you contributed to our world. You know what I'm saying? I had another good friend of mine on here before, Keith Harris out of California.
Yes, sir.
He's from Chicago. Me and
Yes,
Keith
sir.
went to school together.
Wow.
And I told Keith, and I said, yo, do you understand that there's not a club on this planet that's not playing a song that you produce?
Right.
There's not a club. There's not an arena.
Right.
On this planet, and now and his music is in film and TV, like you.
Right.
Like you can go anywhere and hear something that Amadeus has created or worked on.
Yes, sir.
Anywhere in this world. So yeah, man, like, just accept the fact that God did what he did for you, and for those of us that haven't gotten that big break yet, keep going.
Yeah, please don't stop. And I love how you said that. I'll share this real quick before we go.
Yeah.
This year, I was blessed to turn 40 years old, right? And I'm not gonna lie, you my brother, I was having a fit. I was freaking out. Because I've done a lot, and I'm grateful to God for everything I've done, right? But there's so much that I haven't done as of yet. There's so much that I haven't tapped into, you know. And I was, you know, and I'm being honest and transparent. I was discouraged. I was discouraged, and this is me. You know, the record producer, the millions. This is me. I was discouraged, and
with gold plaques.
With gold plaques, with all of these on the wall, all the stamps on the passports, just like, man, I don't know, bruh. And my sister sent me something, and it was a video, and I'm pissed that I don't remember this young lady's name. She's an actress, and she just talked about her dad always dreaming about opening a barbershop, and her, like, she always dreamt about being an actress and being successful, and she was like, yo, I didn't get my big part and I didn't get my dream house until I was 45 years old.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And you're going to even wow even harder when I tell you about her dad. And she was like, yo, my dad at 65 years old finally opened up the barbershop he always wanted to open up. And it's a huge success. And I watched that video, King, and if I'm gonna try to find it just to send it to you, bro. And that video changed my life, and it excited me for that new chapter of turning 40. And it was just saying, because you know the devil kind of show up and you're done, you're finished, you're done, you're old, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't even move the same. Like, bro. You know what I mean? So for y'all that are tuned in, that haven't had that big break yet, that haven't had that moment yet, please stay the course. Please stay focused. Please stay on the path. Please stay, you know, on the journey. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not about our timing. And it took me a long time to understand that and learn that. Like, yo, I could be saying, I'm ready. When? Come on. And God could be like, you're really not. So I'm just holding you in place because you're really not. Because if I let you go right now, you might die. If I let you go right now, and you may overdose. If I let you go right now, you might drink yourself. If I let you go right now, you might spin yourself.
Oh, my God, you preaching.
Bruh, real talk. And I had to learn that. And that's not an easy pill to swallow. That's very difficult to understand. But it just takes a certain level of spiritual maturity to be able to understand that, man. So just y'all stay the course. You remain prayerful, work hard, go hard, remain prayerful even more. Stay calm, stay patient, stay humble. No matter how dope you feel you are, remain humble. And when it's time for God to hand you and pass you that key that no man or no person or no thing can switch the lock, can change, can lock you out of.
Come on, Amadeus, preach.
You're going to put that key in, you're going to turn that key, man, and you're going to open up that door, and then you're going to be so grateful for when you see what's yours, and you're going to be grateful of the time that it took you to get there, because you may not even have appreciated the same if you got there sooner or quicker. So yeah. And I know I left y'all with a lot, man. And I can't take no credit.
This is good.
That's God.
Power of the pen, y'all. Hashtag power of the pen.
Power of the pen, man. So I'll leave you with that, man. I'll leave y'all with that.
This is great. Yo, first of all, I'm gonna be in touch. We got a lot to talk about.
Oh, man. Yeah, definitely.
A lot, man.
Yes, sir.
And maybe some stuff to create.
Yeah, let's do it.
Maybe some stuff to create.
The time is now,
man. This has been great.
Thank you, my
y'all
brother.
Give big ups again to my bro.
Appreciate y'all, man.
He dropped a lot of nuggets on us tonight.
Yes, sir. With barbecue sauce too.
I love it.
You heard?
I love it. We repping New York Giants, baby.
Yeah, shout out to the G, man. We looking good. We looking good out there.
Say what's on your mind. Speak loud from within. Make us sing along with the power of the pen. Say what's on your mind. Speak loud from within. Make us sing along with the power of the pen. Say what's on your mind.